Hey guys, and welcome to the thrilling conclusion to Legend of Mana. But before we go into the Mountain Tree, there's one more thing I want to show off that I know I can. On the way though, I am going to talk about one more thing that I am not showing off that I could have. I think I mentioned yesterday there was stuff about Final Fantasy VIII save, Saga Frontier 2 save. There is also one thing you can do if you have a Chocobo Racing save, and that is go to Pulporta Harbor, and you can pick up a accessory called Fastest Wheel, I think. I think it's from Skippy. I think Skippy shows up there and just gives you this accessory. So that's a thing you can do. The other thing, which we're going to do, is something I thought was somewhere else, and I looked it up, and it's actually here in Domino. I thought you have to go to Christie's place to add other game save characters to your party. You actually just have to talk to this empty house here. You'll knock, it'll open up your save data window, and you want to load another save. So you see I have this one here. You can't use the same hero data. Even if you copied onto a different memory card, you can't use the same hero data. But you can use other hero data. So I made a new save real quick. I just loaded up a female level 1 two-handed axe user, turned right around, saved in the bed, and then restarted the console. And now we have a second hero with us. So if you have a friend who is playing through Legend of Mana, you could bring over their memory card and load their save and use them as a party member. You can super clear through the game really easily this way if you want to do it. Additionally, Pearl and Elazul are hanging out here if you want to go pick them up. I thought it would be a more interesting conclusion to go with the female protagonist as our extra party member. They're gonna suck because they're level 1, but I'm gonna use them. I mean, the other alternative was to just not bring anybody, so I figure I might as well bring them. So yeah, let's ascend Yggdrasil, the Mana Tree here. It's an easy and difficult area at the same time. It's easy in that you can ascend the area without getting lost at all. It's basically a straight line. Sanctuary of Mana. Legend of Mana. It's difficult in that the enemies are actually really high level. Mana Goddess is light, and thus she could not see herself. She used her light to outline herself in shadow. Her visions began the creation of this universe. Everything in the world has a common beginning, her light. The desire to know oneself became shadow and separated us. Do not detest the darkness. That's all you need to know. Words are your powers. The goddess will speak to you with her powers. If you know you can handle that power, then proceed. Okay. There's some items you can pick up here, I think. And there are enemies to fight. Again, if you are doing it yourself at home and you're having trouble and you need to level, the Golem is a good place. The Golem in the Diamond Room in Bejeweled City is a great place to go and level. Alternatively, try blacksmithing some gear. Because you can, I think, my weapon, I'll show off our equipment here. We're level 38, we have a sword that does 50. So with 40 strength-ish and a sword that does 50, we will do decently. She's got 5 strength and a sword that does 12. She also has no skills, so she's not doing anything for us, other than just being here. But I mean, we can try and level her a little bit on the way. Since we got that sweet ring, that will do it. Or, I mean, we could just get item drops, whatever. Oh, here we go. Now it's down. Unless it kills her. Well, it didn't do that much to her, actually. She only took, a little bit of damage here. Let's see how much she levels up to now. Did that just get her to 1 level? Yeah, just level 2. Alright, well, I don't expect her to be useful at all, like I said, but she's going to be more useful than having no character there at all. And I didn't want to go and grab Black Pearl again, because Black Pearl is just going to make, short work of everything. There is a small split path here. I'm not too concerned about it. We'll find our way, even if this is the wrong way. Again, you only do the Legend of Mana, once. and then you just kind of hang around in New Game Plus without ever doing it again, so I don't really do this quest a whole lot, so I can't promise I won't get lost here, but I can promise to try. I don't really have a whole lot to talk about outside of the end of the game. Here we go. I do find it a little weird that they put equipment in the mana tree, but with New Game Plus being a thing, and the fact you can leave whenever you want to go use the materials you can find, I guess it's not too strange to think that they would do that, but it seems a little weird that the final area should have that. I feel like it should just be like a enemy gauntlet. But, and I guess it kind of is in a way. Every room has like enemies all over it, but yeah, this is going to be the end of the playthrough here. I don't think the Legend of Mana, the quest that we're on, the Mana Tree, I don't think it's too long of an area, and I don't think there's a whole lot really going on, so we shouldn't have any troubles here. Assuming I can just not get lost, but again, there isn't really getting lost in the Mana Tree. It's basically one path. You can go wherever you can go, and if there's two ways, you just kind of check one out, see if it leads further than the treasure chest, and if it does, you follow it. This one does not lead further than the treasure chest, so we turn back. Pretty simple. There's like one small puzzle we'll run into hopefully soon. Should we clear out some more guys here? Maybe get the NPC some levels. I think if you load up a really high level NPC, like you're going to boost your way through the game by bringing in like a level 99, no future, clear, save character with like sweet, awesome tempered gear and stuff. If you go to Christie's dungeon, or like a little arena in her basement, and right before you go in, you use the save statues to set two-player controls to be like actually let the other person control the character. You can kind of just have them not do anything and then beat them up, and I think they do drop experience, and you can like super level yourself that way if that's an option to you. But I mean, if you're playing through the game and watching an LP of it while doing so, you're probably just don't have a like super clear save you can use for boosting lying around. So it's not really an option. You could just download a save off of Game FAQs and boost off of that, but at that point you might as well just play that save, right? Alright, let me think here. We need to find 4 sets of monsters and beat them up. And the area is set up kind of like a 3x3 grid here. And I guess there is some items strewed about. But once we defeat all 4 sets of monsters, then we will get taken to the final boss. Here's the second set. So we're almost done. It's like a super short quest. I wish it had been a little longer and that maybe the teardrop crystal had been a little shorter, but oh well. Can't get everything right. Finish you off. I'll deal with you then. There we go. Poof. End time. So we've gone up the left side. I think that all the enemies are in the corners. I could be wrong on that. There might be somebody in the middle. But for now, I'm going to go around the outside and I'll like loop back up. If there is an enemy in the bottom corner, I'll go back and I'll check the center just to see what's there. I don't remember what's there, and I feel like it might be something cool. Also, dragons are like super good for experience and money, so I do want to kind of get that. Just so that when my like level 1, the other character I brought in can actually, like, be a little more relevant here. I noticed there was some stuff behind the pillar, but that's okay. And we'll move on. This chest. I'm gonna assume that the bottom right is where the last monster is. I'm gonna pop over here into the center. And it's a Sproutling. You got to say. This is the Sanctuary Mana. A real bad monster doing real bad things. Mana tree, they're coming here to stick with the truth. Okay. So yes, all the monsters are in the 4 corners of the 3x3 grid. There's chests in the north, south, east, west of the 3x3 grid, and there's Sproutling in the middle. Which means I'm actually going to be missing a chest because I'm not going to the bottom of the... I guess it would be the southmost square. If it was like a phone thing, it would be like 8. If you were to number the squares. I'm not going to the one that's left from here, because as soon as we beat that, it's going to warp us to the Mana Goddess here. She's the light, she's the darkness, half of herself is what you fought in the past. Create, destroy, create again. She's love. Not all is just, not all is pure, it's only half. Other half cross their swords. People's freedom is lost, my truth starts, show you darkness, defeat me. Become a hero. Once the path to those, search me. Alright, so we walk forward, everything gets spooky, and here is the Mana Goddess. Oh yeah, the Mana Goddess. She's only level 42, which is about the levels the Jules Beasts were at. So she's not, like, super ridiculous. She can be a little tough here. I mean, she hits me for like 10%. If you bring like Black Pearl, it's super easy because you can just do like I did in the Julie quest and spam. Stop combat. And spam your specials, so she can't hit you, and every time you tag her with a skill, she's just gonna go down real easy. I'm gonna try and tag her with Skull Splitter. I don't expect it to work. Oh, I did. Nice. So that's gonna speed things up pretty significantly. Rin is totally down. I'm gonna back away. There's a nice little eclipse going on here in the background. Oops, she's the one who's gonna want that from the shotgun. Mostly I brought her just in case I had some troubles that I could, I mean, she wouldn't really be much of a timer, but maybe the Goddess will focus on her instead, and I really didn't need it. There we go, that's phase 1. I think there's multiple phases, there might not be. But it is a Squaresoft game, so it's Final Boss. I assume there's multiple stages, but maybe there aren't. At least we get to see the Mana Tree. So, yeah, you know what? I don't think there are. I think that was it. Yep, there we go. And we did it before the eclipse finished. Which I have to guess is good time. I don't know. I don't know anything about the speedrunning of the game, but... Here comes the Sproutling. Yep, you're a Sproutling. Here to heal the Mana Tree. We remember that. And we get to see how everybody changes things. Mana Tree calls, I gotta go. A little bit of an epilogue here. I don't know what I meant by how everybody changes things. Is how everybody is changed by things. The wind shall take thee. What could that possibly mean? And poof! And away he goes. Back at home, the 3 Sproutlings all start to poof. Poof, poof. And away they go. And all these Sproutlings come from all over the game, where we ran into them in different places. And I resurrect the mana tree. There's one. Poof. Another one. Another one, another one, another, and they're all over the goddamn place. Like rats infesting the world with their Brussels sprout-like body. And that's it. That's Legend of Mana. I think the credits are gonna roll any minute now. There might be some more talk from the tree, but I think there isn't. Yeah, and then the credits should start rolling now. So that's Legend of Mana. After the credits roll, you can save your game. You get a New Game Plus save, so you can go back in. You'll start all over again, placing all the artifacts and doing all the quests. You do get to keep your inventory, all the items you grabbed. I think your workshops actually stay without you having to do the quests again. The pets you gathered all stay, and your orchard stays. So you keep most of the stuff, and then, I mean, there is a book in your office. I forget what it's... I think it's called, like, the Forbidden Tome or something. And I think I mentioned this last episode. You talk to it, you get 3 questions that are basically yes or no questions. The quality on this, like, FMV, by the way, is not, like, my fault. It's actually, like, a pretty bad quality FMV. Yep, we plants are all connected to our roots. We might look like separate beings, but we're one plant in our real dimension. You can see Nicolo walking around Geo. Everyone with a soul always disappears. We don't have souls, so we always stay. The poet Pokio said so. I always like, you know, counting stars. You know, there has to be a lot of stars. I think these are all lines that all the sproutlings in those areas said. And Nicolo is like part of the cutscene because he hated them, and now he's saying, there are so many and now they're all gone. I should have saved a few to sell. He asks, I guess it means you're supposed to give flowers to the one you love. It's misfortune. Goes and asks the golem. And I think these are all like direct quotes from the sproutlings in the areas that he's going to talk to. These all feel like things I've heard sproutlings say before. Why Nicolo's coming over to our house, I don't know. But you better not be stealing our cactus. There we go. Legend of Mana. All done. Oh, but like I said, yes. You finish watching these credits. There is the Forbidden Tome you can talk to, answer questions. You can up the difficulty. Upping the difficulty increases the rare item drop rate and increases the amount of experience, and I think also money that drops from enemies. So you level a lot faster, but on the other hand, the enemies are way, way harder, and you basically need to temper up some good gear, like using Altena alloy gear is not enough to really live through, I think it's called No Future mode. You need like a sword with 50 physical attack is not going to cut it. You want a sword with like 400, 500, 600 physical attack. Which again takes like an hour of tempering after multiple hours of grinding. And I wish I could have shut it off, but it wasn't viable for me to spend that amount of time for something that you can just watch Franz's video. I'll probably copy the link from the last episode's description and put it here as well. But we can see all the little areas, get our credits. Like I said when I started the game, I really, really enjoy Legend of Mana. Also, I don't think any of these scenes are in the game outside of it. And her music is like really good, which we get to see here and listen to her music for the credits. But like I said, when I started the series, I really like Legend of Mana. Like, really like Legend of Mana. There's so much to do in it. And even when you try and do like a full playthrough, there's still so many things you don't get a chance to do. Like, I didn't show off the Shadow Zero game. I didn't show off the Saga Frontier or Chocobo Racing file rewards. I've heard you can actually get the Saga Frontier sword without a Saga Frontier 2 save on your card. But there's like it's a really small timing window or something where you have to go back and fight Deathbringer 2. But it's not super important. Why Yuka is here picking up a crab, I don't understand, but she broke it. I think it's supposed to be a joke about how you can break Yuka's baby. All the innkeepers all dancing on the harbor. Like, I didn't go into tempering at all. I haven't even thought of going into golem making or really gotten into instruments to make good mages or anything. There's all sorts of like characters I didn't really look at. There's all sorts of like plot and lore stuff I didn't really look at. There's geez, there's so many different things. There's pets I didn't explore. I mean, this whole system about how you feed your pets to make sure they have good stats and like a good AI. I think tempering is where most of the stuff is going to happen, though. Making a good weapon, making a good armor set. The cards, also, I really like the cards that show up in tempering. I really wish I even just shown that off like a little bit, but I just didn't have any of the stuff to do it. So I figured I'll just leave it up to Franz and just link you guys to German Spy's video. But these credits are going on longer than I have things to say as final thoughts on the game. I might play around with the save after New Game Plus, just because I never keep my saves every time I reformat my hard drive or move stuff over. I'll move the same emulator and plugins and stuff over, but I never remember to bring my saves, so maybe I will remember to bring my save. And the next time I decide to sit down and play Legend of Mana, I'll do some New Game Plus, because I don't think I've really done too much New Game Plus. I think my very first playthrough as a kid, it took me forever to figure out how to do any of the story quests. And I think the one I finished was the dragon one. Lark's one. Just because it's the easiest to actually figure out what you have to do. And then we got the mana tree. And of course, you get the mana tree, you have to explore the mana tree right away when you're like 10 or whatever we were when we played it. And then we finished the game and went into this, and we're like, well, there was all this stuff we didn't do. I still had artifacts I didn't even place yet and stuff, so went into New Game Plus, had to start all over, and I think we played it for a little bit, and then we were like, well, I did all this stuff again, I wanted to do the stuff I haven't done, so we just kind of didn't play through it in New Game Plus too much, and every time I sit down to play it, I go through and do everything in the game, do the whole around the tree path that I took this time, basically do this exact playthrough, usually with a little more grinding and a little bit of tempering thrown in, but and then get to the end and I'm like, well, I don't really want to play through it all again, I just did it, so I mean, it takes me like 20 hours to do it. I don't really want to sit there for another like 20 hours, but it definitely is a lot better once you get to New Game Plus. Combat system gets a lot more interesting when you actually have to do things besides just match the X button. Does anything happen in this scene, or do I have to push X? It's one of those follies of... There we go. Sproutings moving around. I was about to say, one of the follies of JRPGs is the post-credits cutscene where you're not sure if you actually have to skip out of it and it's just a nice piece of art, or if you actually have to watch something. Well, that Sproutling dead. Turned into green crystal goo. But yeah, if you've never played Legend of Mana, definitely check it out. It's a lot of fun. I encourage you your first time through to not follow any of the guides and just try and do as much as you can on your own and see where you go. I think that's one of the really nice things about the game is it's really open-ended. There's no clear, defined path through things, right? Also, your partner and your pet come to see the mana tree after, so by loading in a partner from another game, I have a different protagonist. Also, shut off my party, the original save data will be updated. That happens whenever you load another character. So you can actually level a character by bringing it into a higher save file as well. So now she's going to be a little higher level when I finally do decide to start a different game. I'll have another character who's a little higher level. And now I save my own game, and I'm going to save it over... I'm just going to get a new save, just in case. I'm not sure if it wants me to save Giga or Rin, which protagonist it's asking me to save here. Ah, it was me. Okay, that's what I thought. I've got the little music note to show that it's a clear save, so that I can go into New Game Plus. And I guess I'll show off just a little bit of that. I might as well show off the... go into New Future mode here, and we'll show off just how oppressive, I guess, New Future mode is when you don't have gear to really figure it out. Also, you have to, like, pick your area again, so I'm gonna do that if I can remember where it was. Was it here? I think it was here. And our sprout's done. We have to place the home again. And I think I wanted it... Oh, geez, let me check here. Where do I put this? I think it was... down... I had to have two things between it, right? Because this was Gato Gato's, this was the highway, this is where home goes. I just want to start No Future mode and show off how intensely hard it is here. So I'm going to skip that cutscene because we've already seen that way back in episode 1. Oh geez, we have to watch this again. Oh darn it. But mash through this here. I guess I'll also have to place Domina and go talk to Niccolo and get the wheel from him. So it's going to take me a couple minutes here till I can get onto the highway and try a battle on No Future mode. So maybe I won't show it off. Yeah, I don't think I will show it off after all. Anyway, I guess if anything I'm just going to keep here and mashing until I can save my game. But thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate the support you show on the series. If you want to show your support some more, you make sure you press the like button here too. Subscribe. I'm thinking... I know what I'm going to put up next, so you'll see the new video tomorrow for what the next series will be. And I hope you enjoy that one too. But thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.